Psst. Hey, you up? It's time for some coffee. Hot, bold, and full of flavor. Tonya McKenzie and Gia Sneed are my morning coffee.
Greetings, good people. Welcome to another edition of My Morning Coffee, where you know the conversation is always going to be hot, bold, and
full of flavor.
Tonya McKenzie,
Gia Sneed,
the newly retired and partied out Gia Sneed. Why don't we go ahead and get into what your weekend looked like, Miss Gia? Let the people know what you did this weekend, how you spent your time, and how you feeling today.
All right, y'all. My weekend was full. I had a retirement party. It was amazing. Amazing committee. Amazing everything. It was amazing. People showed up and celebrated me, and we celebrated. We ate, drank, kind of danced. Some people, and then we took pictures. So it was fun. Got to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while. Had a good time though, but it was really a really good time. So that was Saturday. It was full, all day Saturday, and I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed everything about it. And I'm normally, I don't do parties. I don't have a lot of parties. Like people have parties every year for their birthday and all that kind of stuff. That's not kind of my thing. I don't really do that, even though I do celebrate birthdays because birthdays are important. But I'm used to celebrating others, so I do more for others than I probably really do for myself. So this was kind of hard for me because I didn't want to party, you guys. I just wanted to retire and ride off into the sunset and just do my thing. And then, of course, people close to me was like, no, Gia, you should have a party. It's very important. It's a milestone. This is a big accomplishment, and they're right. It is, 32 years working for LA County Sheriff's Department is a big thing. And then 38 years total working for Los Angeles County is also a big thing. So it should have been celebrated. So I kind of got on board and was like, okay, yeah, we're going to do this and stuff. Again, I'm not good at tooting my own horn. So I don't, I just go about my day, my life, just doing and stuff. I don't really think much of some of the stuff that I do and everything. But long story short, it was good. I enjoyed myself. Again, really, really, really did have a good time. I want to shout out a lot of the vendors that I use. I had my party at a place called Afro City, which is Black owned. It's a Black owned collective in Baldwin Hills.
Hard work plus patience.
I want to shout them out. And also I used minority businesses as vendors and stuff. So I use KJ Catering for the nacho bar, the Bang Bang Nachos. I used Lola's bartender. She was the bartender. And then we had DW Blue Barbecue. He prepared some of the meats. And then the DJ was DJ Cali. And the decorator was Monique's and More Events. And some of the party favors and the sweets was Elaine's Bread Puddings. We also had Jazzy Sweet Treats events. And then the cake was done by Drea. And then my party favor, I had a blend of was a lotion butter created. And that was done by Nina's Organics. And these are all Black owned businesses, minority owned businesses. Also, we did have we had the photo booth was 360 photos. I believe it's Simply Photos. That's Rashawn, my sister's business. I can't remember the name because she got a few businesses. But I think it's 360 or no, I think it's called Come Spend With Us. 360. Again, this is her newest venture, so y'all forgive me. I don't got it right, but hey, but I'm still kind of like on cloud because the bartender, Lola was good. Lola was throwing down on them drinks. Oh, and also I had another photo booth called Photo Booth Plus. I think it's Photo Booth Plus. I don't know, y'all, but
Yes.
The coconut margarita was
good.
like the bomb. It was so good. I had to come home and have Jeff make me one that night because Jeff made the simple syrup and the sweet and sour that was used to make the coconut margaritas.
Oh, I didn't know he made that.
Yeah, he made that. Yeah, so that it wasn't store bought, y'all. People was thinking it was store bought. Yeah, Jeff don't do that store bought stuff. He be like, I'm gonna make that, and stuff. So hence that's why he do
It was
all.
so good. I was
Yeah.
just licking the glass.
Yeah, so I had one yesterday too. Because I had some coconut tequila at the house. So I had another one yesterday. So that might be my thing for the rest of the year. I'm on this whole coconut tequila, coconut margarita thing. So when we go out, y'all, because some of y'all, we gonna probably go out and have some lunches or something. Because some of y'all was saying y'all, people that said they couldn't make it and want to go to lunch and all that kind of stuff.
She's open.
I'm open, but we got to find a place that got some coconut
Oh my God.
margaritas or something. Because
Well, I'm going to share with you a little
Yeah.
bit of my take on the event. I think it was full of people that were showing love and just happy to be there with Miss Gia. So bear with me. We don't get into social media too often, but I want you to see.
Dedication, hard work, plus patience. Some more of my sacrifice. I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication. Look.
I spent my whole life thinking out the box. Boxing homies 3-on-1, got DP, but I ain't dropped. Chirp on me, here I come. Spin around the block, they blurted on me. Said I ran a stop sign, but that's a lie. I spent my whole life staring at the stage, playing Sega, daddy smoking, mama playing spades, catching vapors. Grandma said I get some Jordans for my grades. That's my baby. When she died, my heart broke 100 ways. I spent my whole life trying to make it, trying to chase it. The cycle of a black man divided, trying to break it. You take a lost shit, don't cry about it, just embrace it. Mine a setback for major comeback, that's my favorite. My L said you do it song with Nip. Kate out here better. I said here, man, first you hear the words out his lips about flourishing from the streets to black businesses. Level 4, y'all living, giving to false imprisonment. Listen close, my it's bigger than deuces and foes, my since elementary we close, my you're straight like that. I give you the game, go back to the turf and give it right back. For generations we've been.
So as y'all can see, it wasn't a little bit of dancing. She was dancing and Jeff was dancing. And some people were really getting their groove on. So it was really good to see people celebrating and just being in the spirit of the moment. And I just want to promote that more often without phones. That's one thing I didn't see her. I didn't see her with her phone at all. So if you was calling, talking about I couldn't make it or what time, she was in the moment. And I think too often we forget to be just in the moment. And she was, and it was good to see. We don't do that often enough. So that was exciting to watch. So I implore you all, when you have people around you, be in the moment. Like, don't be afraid to put your phone down, close your laptop, and just be in the moment and enjoy the people that you are with. There was a lot of awards. There were some surprises, some people that showed up that she wasn't expecting. But after 32 years of service for the County of Los Angeles, which is the largest county in our nation, you have to understand that there was a lot of love and admiration. I think a lot of people were wowed with her uniforms and her awards and just what her life has looked like for the last 32 years. So it was an honor to be there. And everybody else that was there, it was good to see everybody trying to be in the moment, just in awe of all the folks that came out and a lot of things that were said, and to watch her look like she was tearing up. I think she held it together pretty good, but she does not, you could tell she does not sit well and just allow people to pour into her. So you could see it was a little awkward. And I think with our guest today too, we're gonna have the opportunity to talk more about that. Like, as women, how do we sometimes just sit in a moment? Right.
I was in the moment, y'all, because I kept losing my drinks. That's how much I was in the moment. So I lost a couple of them coconut margaritas. I'm still kind of mad about that. Yeah, because I was in the moment. But I want to talk a little bit about, you mentioned the whole museum thing that was there. That was a concept that I had in my head, and it was been in my head for a while, and I was trying to figure out what I could do when I bought into the party. I had to buy into it because at first I wasn't. But when I bought into it, I wanted to do something because a lot of people, even though I've been on for 32 years, a lot of people that know me or know of me that are not on the department didn't really know, what I did for a living, because that wasn't something that I talked about all the time. And a lot of people, probably never really saw me, you know, um, on the job and things like that. So that whole vision came from, I wanted to take people through my journey from the beginning to where I'm at now in retirement. So, as I was going through a lot of my stuff, you have to turn some things in when you retire. So I was going through all my stuff, so I had uniforms for when I was in the academy, when I graduated the academy, and I had uniforms from every rank that I was at. So so it was easy. After I thought about the vision, I wanted to do it. It all came together because I had the stuff. So that was really important to me, that I laid it out so people could see
The journey.
and see what the life of a law enforcement officer is through the stuff that they saw that day. So I hope that's what people got.
I just saw a lot of people in awe. So the museum and the notables that showed up and the certificates and just the blessings that were bestowed upon her. I don't really eat. I didn't get a chance to eat. I shouldn't even be acknowledging this at this point because she, the bang bang nachos are a big deal. But when I'm like working an event, I can't eat because I want to make sure like I'm available. I ain't looking crazy, food wasted all in my clip. Like I can't do that. So I like to look at people's faces and see how they're receiving what we're giving off. Right. And there was just a lot of awe. So I think conceptualizing the idea and then bringing it to life, the museum that was excellent. But y'all know she's super creative and she's always going to come up with something that's going to leave people in awe, as Gia does. So the coolest thing is, though, when Stacey spoke, for me, listening to her talk about how she's a muse for Gia, everybody's a muse for Gia, okay? Everything that she sees out in the world, she can come up with something creative that is customized for that person. So it's good that someone spoke on that creativity piece of her, especially since we were concentrating on the law enforcement part. But I think creativity and artistry, that's something that goes unappreciated often. So kudos to you for that. Love Stacey for bringing that up, and glad we had that factor. But let's go ahead and bring in our guest right now, because she might want to tap in on some of this. So we have an author of an awesome new book, Miss Angela D. Coleman. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Sounded like a good time.
It was. So I don't know, what were you hearing that kind of in regards to the work that you do? So introduce yourself to the people, let them know what you do, and we'll definitely get into the book. But of the things that we're talking about too, do you recognize as something that we as women, we as Black women deal with on a regular basis?
Sure. Okay. My name is Angela D. Coleman. My parents named me after Angela Davis, and I am a holistic health specialist. And I also run a global nonprofit for women and girls called Sisterhood Agenda. And what was resonating with me was just how respected you are in the community. And it was a chance for people to honor you, honor not just what you do, but honor you as a person. And that's kind of what I was feeling with the accolades, and also being able to just absorb just that radiant energy. I was picturing like the fire element of feng shui, the passion, and just love, also like pink and yellows and reds. So yeah, I was just feeling that general aura of love and appreciation and respect.
Yes.
And that's awesome. Over 30 years of service, I've really felt the service aspect. When you're serving other people, you don't tend to think of yourself the way other people are seeing and viewing you. You're just doing the work, right? You just say, oh, I'm just kind of doing what I do. But other people are there to say, no, it's more than that. It's something you brought to it that made it special, and you're special. So.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did it because um, to hear what the things that people said, because I don't, I just do my job. That's just me. I show up to do the job. I don't show up to think, I don't do a job wanting to know what people are going to say or think. I'm there to do the job. So to hear some of the things that people said, and not even the people that weren't there that saw. We posted things on Facebook, pictures and things to see the things that they wrote. It really touched me. I have one young lady used to work for me. She doesn't work for the department anymore, and she missed it. But she said how that I was the best supervisor she ever had then and even now, and she's in a whole nother profession. So, that made me feel good for all the managers and supervisors out there. I know you guys probably wonder, how do your staff receive you, and so that really touched me because I didn't know what my subordinates thought of me or think of me at the time I'm doing my job. 'Cause I'm just there doing a job. So to see that I was able to touch some people, that meant more to me actually really than the 32 years that I gave a service to the, to the county. Really, is that I was able to touch, someone close to me like that. So
I love that. Tell us how you got started with Sisterhood Agenda. What does that nonprofit do? Who does it serve?
Well, we have global partners and we have over 6,000 global partners in 37 countries. So it serves women and girls around the globe. Our sisterhood is diverse because our world is diverse. And it started out as something that was important to me as a result of doing research on issues that were facing women and girls, particularly African-American women and girls. That's what I did a lot of my research on as an undergraduate, and also my thesis on self-esteem, self-concept processes, stigma, social comparison, a lot of psychological phenomenon that happen often unconsciously, and how that leads to us feeling a certain way about ourselves. So I thought it was very important to focus on girls and girls' development, girls' empowerment. But Sisterhood Agenda's overall mission is to educate, support, and empower women and girls. And we do that through our Global Girls Empowerment Initiative, but also through health and wellness initiatives. And we even have a community development and housing initiative called Parks Holistic Housing. And we have eco suites on the island of St. John and Virgin Islands. So we're always encouraging that very holistic mind, body, spirit integration, because we want all girls to live their best lives, to be healthy, not just quote unquote successful, but also to be well and live a quality life.
So does your nonprofit, could you say you global and you, so do you guys do you do like workshops for young ladies that deal with, you do mental health workshops or
Yeah, we have
yoga
resources.
workshops, things like that?
Yeah, we do
Okay.
workshops, presentations, we do training. We have a program called A Journey Toward Womanhood for teenage girls, a Sister Camp Summer Enrichment Program for the younger girls. We have a Sisterhood Empowerment Academy on St. John, where we can have retreats and different programs. We had Sisters Healthy and Empowered on St. John. So, I mean, it varies. Parks Holistic Housing is actually a project that's happening in Baltimore County, Maryland. So, I mean, we connect with our partners where they are and what they're doing. We also are disseminating educational resources and materials, like our youth leadership team just developed a youth mental health guide, and that's available for downloading at our shop at sisterhoodagenda.com. So those are just some of the activities that we do.
Can you talk more about, you said you guys are focusing on housing in Baltimore. So what does that look like for our viewers? Because,
Sure.
we hear that term thrown around, housing this and housing that. So what is, when you say youth housing, what is that?
Well, we frame holistic housing as a different type of development strategy. Holistic housing is housing that's safe. It's sustainable environmentally using permaculture and green building and sustainable building practices. But it also enhances and increases holistic health and healing. So using the power of green spaces for connecting with nature, for healing, especially for women who have experienced trauma, is very important. And the sustainability is not limited to just the environment. The sustainability is also about economic sustainability. So it's affordable and it's something that you can sustain over time, feel good about, and also be in community with other women and children, and uplifting and having activities that are therapeutic and being a support system for each other.
I love that. So we talk a lot about when we want to show that we're supporting our community and people say, oh, I got you, or you can do this. You have an amazing organization. How did you start this organization? How did you go from concept to fulfillment in regards to what you envisioned as an organization that can do all of this?
Absolutely. Well, it comes from my innate belief that unity and togetherness makes us so much stronger, and we can do anything when we unite and come together. And so the spirit of sisterhood is alive and well when we consciously practice it. But too often we're getting images and getting exposure to things that are counter to that belief and that narrative, and that only hurts us individually and collectively. Mm-hmm. So there are instances where you don't have sisterhood, you're not experiencing sisterhood, and that affects our well-being, that affects our capacity to really achieve and do things that we want and need to do. And when we do come together, it's amazing. And we need the support system. We need that for our mental health. We need that also for our emotional well-being. Even some of us need that physically, because even just, exercising or having a workout buddy, just the connection through the pandemic, we know that loneliness and depression, it can have adverse effects that are literal and biological and physical, not just emotional.
So how did you get people, women, to show up for one another? Tonya and I, we talk about this all the time. I have this platform, and I coined it Sisters Empowering Each Other. And that's what I'm about. That's what I really believe in. I believe in we are better together. And I believe in empowering one another. But sometimes, like Tonya said, people will say, yeah, we're about you, we're about this. And, but I don't think a lot of people know how to really show up. So, and how did you get people? Are there tools that you use to show us women how to show up for one another? And
absolutely, I think that it's something you do have to be taught sometimes. And that's why we have a book, Girl's Guide, How to Be a Sister, right? Because it's about developing yourself to the point where you are honoring and loving yourself enough to be able to love, honor, and respect another woman, especially one who looks and seems like somebody like you. So it starts from the self. And we haven't had difficulties because it's interesting. People connect to us. They find us online. We've had people in Australia contact us and say, oh, we didn't see you had, we have a global sisterhood directory. We didn't have a space for Australia. We didn't have listings for Australia. They called and said, we want to be a listing for Australia. Okay, now we have one. And so it's grown organically that way because we're attracting through the energy, I think, that we're giving other like-minded agencies and individuals like you all, like sister organizations that are very grassroots. These aren't these big, major, national or even global agencies, organizations, or gatherings. This is how social change happens. It happens locally. It happens with committed leaders and people who say, hey, I want to do something and make a positive difference in my community. And it just starts from that. And that's how also our Sister Circles group started for Baltimore area. We just had one woman who said, hey, I want to do a Sister Circle group. I'm looking to join. And I said, well, let's see how many other people want to do it. And we can do one here if we have enough people. So we just used Meetup as a platform, put it out there. And within the first week, we had over 60 women that joined. And then now we have almost 100. And we have started off once a month. Now we're every 2 weeks. And it's just organic. And I do think it's important to put out there that you are someone who lifts women up. And it's going to be important too that you maintain that, facilitate that, and how you structure activities and how you're training and how you're advertising, even marketing. So I think that we're running counter to a lot of other very powerful influences that are showing women how to not be supportive of each other and how to be competitive with each other or how to undermine each other. So to be aware of that, but by and large, most of the women and the groups that we've met, they've been about it. And I think that we've been kind of a little bit of a beacon in that way. We were able to attract like-minded folks. So
in essence, and I like what you said about energy, that's what I was thinking. The energy that you put out tends to attract like-minded individuals. The energy you put out is what you tend to get back. So it's almost like any nonprofit or any organization. I always say, you're going to get out as much as you put into this organization. So if you go into it with good intentions, or you hear from us or hear from you with these good intentions and high energy and high vibrations, you tend to attract individuals that are about that. So you don't have to teach them to do something that they already desire to do. They just needed a space and the right people to do it with.
That's exactly right. Yes. You're preaching.
So tell us about your newest book. How many books you done written now?
Well, The Art of Chilling Out for Women is my 23rd book that I've written. It's the 23rd.
Was it easier? I work with authors all the time. Did it get easier for you, or did you find yourself still struggling even with this 20-something book? It's still a struggle.
Well, for me, I have to say, I love writing. I love reading and I love writing. So I've always been a writer, whether I'm writing in my journal, I'm writing notes, taking lists. So for me, it wasn't, it's just something I just like to do. So it wasn't too difficult for me. I look forward to devoting more time to writing more books. So it's something I'm always going to want to do. And The Art of Chilling Out, it didn't take me that long, but the material in the book was developing the resources to share it with other women was, I would say, that's a journey. It's part of my healing journey. It was part of my life experiences, part of my work that I've done with Sisterhood Agenda. So that's been a long time coming. So this is kind of a summation of a lot of cumulative experiences and wisdom that I have acquired over the years that I'm happy to share now. In this format. So I feel blessed and honored to be able to do that. It's kind of a privilege, just to be able to put it to paper and share it that way.
What does chilling out look like to you? What is that? Is it just sleeping? Is it doing nothing? Talk to us about what that is, and then why we have such a struggle doing it.
Yes. Well, chilling out for me is stillness, embracing the concept of being still. And contrary to what it might look like doing nothing, but you're actually doing a lot. You are not shutting down, but you're tapping within. You're tapping into something within you that allows you to restore and vision.
So that's hard.
That's hard. Okay, and that's the whole. One of the chapters in the book that I have, I provide you with over 100 ways in which you can learn to master the art of chilling out. One chapter is called Using Stillness as Your Superpower, because it is. It is. You asked me how I chill out. I light a candle. I meditate. I go for a walk. I look at the leaves. I look at flowers. I light an incense.
You can do that, Tonya?
I have done it.
I do it.
Oh, okay.
I just don't do it as often as I should.
Oh, okay.
I do it. I just don't do it as often as I should. Even my chill out is my time at the beach by myself.
Okay.
Well, see, water resonates with you, but there are ways that I talk about in The Art of Chilling Out for Women. You can bring that water element to you so that it's always accessible to you. You don't have to go anywhere physically, but you can still access the benefits of that chilling out experience. So like with water, artwork, feng shui principles.
I think about what you're saying. I'm visualizing chilling out, and I'm thinking about we as women, especially we as Black women. And over the years, and I think when I was working, we all get vacation time, right? When you're on a job and stuff. And I used to say, if I didn't have anywhere to go, like on a vacation, get up and leave. Why I'm not gonna take vacation because I'm not gonna sit at home and do nothing. This is how I used to think, And I thought that way for a lot of years. I would just, if I didn't have anything planned, no, Gia, you're gonna get up and go to work. You're not gonna take a vacation, because I felt as though it was like I was wasting a day or wasting time if I wasn't doing it.
That's it, wasting time.
I'm not
by not doing anything, by not filling a gap. So
Right.
while you're waiting for, you're on public transportation, or you get an oil change with your car, or you're waiting for someone that runs in the store and you're waiting for them, or you're in line at the post office or the grocery store. Why do we feel a need to fill that gap, fill up that space?
Exactly.
Something like, I can do a call. I can do a text. Let me check my emails, instead of, hey, this is the perfect time to just chill out.
And then I feel guilty. Like if I stay in the bed, or if I have a day I don't do anything, and I just feel bad. It's like, oh my God, I wasted a whole day. I should, and and I have a lot of things to do, but I'll say, okay, I'm not going to do anything. But then I feel guilty. It's like, okay, and then the next day I'm trying to do more than I should because I feel guilty because I didn't do anything the day before.
Let me tell you, I used to feel that way. And I consider myself to be a recovered type A personality because I come from a family of high achievers. I mean, my father was the first Black police director in Newark, New Jersey. He became the first Black fire director. He was on the Superior Court as a judge. My mother worked for Johnson Publishing Company and was an account executive. That was Fashion Fair Cosmetics, Ebony and Jet Magazine. They're very high achieving people. So my brother and I, the bar was set high. We were examples of Black excellence, of African American achievement. And at the same time, I had a health crisis that made me refocus, change course, and decide how I was going to prioritize my life. And part of that was retraining my thinking of what rest and what chilling out and what productivity looked like.
And that's usually when we chill out. It's funny that you say that you had a health crisis. And that's when usually everybody that chills out or changes is after a health crisis. And it's funny, we know about these things, these health challenges that could happen. We know about them before they happen. But then it happens. And then that's when we say, we're going to chill out. But how come our mind's not programmed so we know that if we keep doing this, we know what causes the stress. We know these things, but we will continue to do them. And then something happens, and it's like, okay, after that happens, now we changed.
Well, and that's why I wrote The Art of Chilling Out for Women. I don't want you or anyone else to have to experience what I've experienced or have a health crisis in order to learn how to relax and chill out. A health crisis is not an opportunity to chill out. That is your body shutting down. That is your body forcing you, due to disease or illness or imbalances, forcing you to accommodate what your body needs. And so that's equating a hospital bed to like a spa, right? It's not. You're in the hospital, you're sick. You're actually not enjoying it. You're not benefiting as much from it. If we can incorporate the art of chilling out into our everyday, we won't have to experience these health crises. We don't have to experience the illnesses because stress is a leading cause of disease and illness. So the art of chilling out is about managing what is normally stressful, but also we really have to change our mindset. We have to change how we think about our time, whether we're wasting time. And that's prioritizing self, right? That it's okay to rest, giving yourself permission. You know why? Who's in charge of you? You are.
Yeah.
Empowered women don't have any masters. Empowered women have no masters. They do what they want to do when they want to do it.
It's funny you say that, but we're just programming, because even with me retiring, a lot of people's asking me, okay, now what are you going to do next? What are you going to do? See, again, we just have this thing. It's like, okay, it's always like, what are you going to do? It was never, okay, I'm going to be retired. It's like, what are you going to do?
But retirement is a rites of passage, just like, entrance into womanhood, teenagers, or manhood is a rites of passage. You're now transitioning into your wise woman stage. What do you want to do with your time? you do whatever you want to do. You're at that stage in your life. You also
do
don't
that.
have the
I-
obligation. Yeah. So
right.
really, your
100%.
obligation is to yourself.
Right.
And a lot of
But
people
here's
put
another
off-
thing, and I want to put it by both of you. I realize that sometimes inactivity allows for me to actually sit in probably emotions and feelings that I haven't dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
And that too can keep you into busy mode because you don't want to actually feel some of these things you actually have to deal with.
I would agree. Yeah.
Busyness as avoidance.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, and I have another chapter called Feel Your Feelings, because we have to feel them. When we feel them, transition and help yourself to move through and move on from your feelings so that you can also let go and you're not carrying that baggage. And it's like the feng shui principle, and I include them in each chapter to help, increase balance and harmony. You've got to open up that space for your blessings. You've got to let go of the baggage and the dusty old stuff that no longer serves you. And that's part of the art of chilling out too, is creating a space and an environment in which you can do that. So your rest and your downtime and your not busy time is actually restorative. And that's a time too when a lot of people get their biggest insights for visioning, for strategic planning, for purposeful living for themselves, is when they are quote unquote chilling out, which on the surface, again, looks like doing nothing, but you're doing something.
Yeah.
These things are all happening unconsciously. I mean, even just it's helpful for your digestion just to have moments of stillness.
Yep.
And at the same time, headaches, digestive issues, stomach aches, perspiration, all these things are also part of your body telling you that something's not quite right, or that you're under a stressful situation, or you're becoming anxious. And you've got to have, I believe, a ritual. A ritual is just a healthy practice, something you can do every day. And that's part of what the art of chilling out for women is teaching you, is saying, hey, have a ritual every day, whether it's your morning coffee or something you do before you go to bed. Or for some people, it's very simple. It's a prayer or a meditation that they do, or a way that they exist when they get a break. What's your go-to? So instead of going to the technology, learning
So it's
to
not. I can't use shopping on Amazon as my thing. That's the thing.
Well, look, I'm guilty
She
of
said,
that.
well.
But I encourage you again to not fill that space. Don't fill that space with anything in particular.
Sit there.
Just literally the stillness.
Hold yourself.
Understand that is how you're getting to know yourself. Don't be afraid to get to know yourself better.
And for her, it's a new self.
That stillness is scary to some people. Like, what am I going to do? What's going on? We have to get over that, because there's so many deep. That's how you listen to your soul voice too, and your spirit and your intuition.
I'm afraid I might get too much into that whole stillness, and then Tonya be calling me, telling me, Gia, you late for the the podcast, because I'm so in my stillness. I'm like, I done said I'm not doing nothing,
So, Miss Angela, why don't you let the people know how they can get in touch with you, stay in touch with you, follow your journey, and even become involved in some of the things you have going on?
Sure. They can look on my website, angeladcoleman.com, and learn more about Sisterhood Agenda at sisterhoodagenda.com. And I invite everyone to read the book and let me know what their thoughts and what they think. I think now is the time for us to collectively change how we've been living, because that's the best way to, I think, be healthy. And we can encourage each other to do that. So when you call me and they say, what are you doing? And I say nothing. And they say, that's good.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start calling her.
I'm doing that next week.
Text her.
I'm going to do it next week.
Nothing.
Next week, I'm going to start.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for being here. And know that once you are a member of the My Morning Coffee family, you're always a part of the family. And if you come out here to California, let us know so we can hang out and come out and support you. Whatever you have going on, just keep us posted, because now, we want to be there for you. We want to show up.
And for our viewers, you guys go out and get the book. Her titles of the chapters sound very interesting. So you guys go out and get the book so we can all chill out, together.
I love it. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. You all have a wonderful day.
You too. So I do want to let y'all know I did read the book.
Okay.
And it's easy. It's an easy read, actually. And when I say easy read, like it guides you through, it gives you steps, like she don't just leave you out there hanging. Some books are just a lot of words.
Yeah.
She actually helps guide you through. There's some takeaways in each chapter. Like it's very, I recommend it for people that might not read a lot. And for people
Well, why are you looking at me, Tonya? What you trying to say?
Might not read
I don't
a
read a
lot.
lot. What you trying to say?
And
They don't do their homework and all that stuff.
Want instructions. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do here?
Okay.
I done read this. What do you want me to do? So it'll tell you.
Y'all, you see how she
what to do.
You see what she doing, y'all? Tonya, she good. That's why she in PR. That's why she in PR. She kind of read. She done read me real quick.
I'm gonna give her my copy.
Okay, real quick. Now I'm gonna buy a copy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go buy a copy. It's on Amazon. I can get it on Amazon.
And Barnes and Noble. It's everywhere.
I'm not going to Barnes and Nobles, but
you're done with them.
No, I'm just not going. I'm gonna go to the computer and go to Amazon and
order
stillness.
In your stillness.
Yeah, in my stillness. And I'm gonna order the book. It's gonna come to my doorstep. So if I go to Barnes and Noble,
then
I might be travel. I might be stressed. Trying to So no, I'm gonna get the book. So yeah, I'm intrigued by a lot of the titles, and since you say it's a good read, and it's my kind of read, it gives me, that's one thing where I don't think people tell you to go do all this stuff. People, we need instructions. People need instructions. They might not ask you for instructions, but they need instructions. Okay, and so we need to cut all that stuff out
together.
Said,
let's read it together.
Okay, we will.
So I love it. So thank you guys for being here again. Before we go, we're at Neighborhood Coffee and Tea in Redondo Beach, California. So if you are in the South Bay, make sure you stop by. They're the only ones that have an amazing white chocolate mocha now for anybody that's a coffee drinker. It's amazing. Come by. They're open in the morning even before the mall opens. So if you got some work you need to do, you just want to come chill out. The vibe is amazing. So,
and they got something brewing.
They got something brewing
coming up. So y'all tap in, tune in, pull up, walk up, and check it out. I believe they have something happening. If it's not this Wednesday, is it next Wednesday? Yeah. Something in the evening, something fun.
Yep. So stay tuned because Jeff is getting some things going, and we'll be here for it.
Yes.
So remember, follow My Morning Coffee Drip on Instagram, find us on Facebook, or subscribe on Apple. All right. Well, until next time.
See ya.